This is breaking news.
The NYPD is giving a safety briefing before the start of the U.S. Open begins today. Let's listen in.
Chief Corey to talk off topic after this press conference is over. Okay? No repeat questions. I always say, if it's a repeat question, I'll take it if it's creative. Now, for security's sake here, we only had B-roll inside of the police commissioner and her team walking through here. It'll show you on this B-roll security, what we can show you, and that will be available by our hot seat about 15 to 20 minutes after this press conference, and you can pick that up by Vimeo. All right? Without further ado, New York City Police Commissioner Keyshawn Fuller.
Good morning, everyone, and I thank you for being here. I am joined by First Deputy Commissioner Eddie Caban, Chief of Department Ken Corey. There will be briefings by Chief of Patrol Jeff Madry, Chief of Intelligence Tom Galati, and our Chief of Counterterrorism Martine Matarazzo. And in a moment, you'll hear from Danny Zausner from the U.S. Tennis Association. Today, we'll discuss the enhanced security measures in place for the 142nd U.S. Open Tennis Championship. Planning for this event began the first day after last year's U.S. Open. And this type of large-scale security preparation is nothing new for the women and men of the NYPD. New York City is the premier sporting and entertainment venue in the nation, and the New York Police Department is there every step of the way. We continue, of course, to work in close collaboration with our private sector and law enforcement partners, some of whom are here today. The NYPD takes great pride in keeping the thousands of athletes, event staff, and spectators safe during this historic tournament. Some of these security measures you will see, others you will not. There will be screening checkpoints throughout the venue, uniformed officers on post, and bike teams on mobile patrol, as well as our aviation, harbor, canine, transit, and other specialized units covering every aspect of this event. Our Counterterrorism and Intelligence Bureau assets will be deployed both here and in Flushing Meadow Park. The police presence in and around this venue will be extensive, comprehensive, and based on real-time intelligence. We constantly monitor and assess the threat stream 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, and we have flexibility to adapt to any situation and respond. I can tell you that there are no specific credible threats against the U.S. Open or New York City at this time. But we always ask New Yorkers and every visitor to our city to remain vigilant at all times. If you see something suspicious, something that doesn't look or feel right, please call 911 or alert a police officer right away. We know that we are strongest when we work together. As a reminder, the New York City transit system is the largest in the country. It is the fastest way to get to and from this tournament. We look forward to a safe and enjoyable event, and it is my pleasure to introduce the Chief Operating Officer for the United States Tennis Association, Billie Jean King National Center, Danny Zausner, who has been an invaluable partner in this event. Danny?
Thank you, Commissioner, and thank you for being here. It's incredibly special to have you and the entire team. As mentioned, over these 2 weeks, more than 750,000 fans will come through our gates. We will have players that will be here, more than 600 players from countries all over the world, broadcasting to over 200 countries, more than 1,500 media representation. The question always is, how do you sleep at night? I sleep at night because of this, because I know that the NYPD not only has our back, but makes everyone feel safe and secure. It's unlike any presence. I know there are other agencies involved in this operation, but the NYPD is the group that puts this all together. I've had the opportunity to work for the last 20 years with this organization, and what they are able to do to have our fans come through our gates and feel safe and secure is unlike any other sports or entertainment spectacle anywhere in the world. So on behalf of the USTA, I want you to know this event does not happen without the support of the NYPD and all the other agencies. Cannot thank you enough. Mass transit was mentioned. We have conflict dates with the Mets through Sunday. It's imperative that as many fans as possible use mass transit. It's the safest and easiest way to get here, and thank you all for coming. Chief?
Yes. Thank you, sir. Good morning to the media and Mrs. Zausner and all the staff of the USTA. Thank you. Good morning. I'm Chief Jeff Madry. I'm the NYPD's Chief of Patrol. And it's NYPD's job to keep this event safe and to make sure that it runs smoothly. And quite frankly, no one in the world is better at doing this than the NYPD. The U.S. Open is one of the most heavily attended sporting events in the world. And we will have round-the-clock security to ensure the safety of our players, all the attendees, and our venue as well. This event kicked off over the weekend with the Arthur Ashe Kids Day on the 27th, Saturday the 27th. It was a great day out here. And then later on today will be the opening ceremony and the official start of play. And the tournament's going to run from today right to September 11th. This event takes place, and most of you know this already, but it takes place in the three large stadiums here. We have the Armstrong Stadium, the Billie Jean King Stadium, and of course the largest of them all, the Arthur Ashe Stadium, which holds about 24,000 people. All right? More than half our ticket holders use mass transit. And as the commissioner said earlier, we encourage everyone to take mass transit. We're going to have extra officers out here to make sure we're keeping everything safe, as well as managing the traffic. All right, so this will ensure that we have a smooth flow of traffic, and people will be safe and the venues will be safe. And over the course of the event, there are going to be 9 other days where there'll be dual events going on. The Mets are going to be playing for 8 days. And then we have the New York City Football Club soccer team that'll be playing one day as well. So we'll make sure we have sufficient coverage out here, again, to make sure that the event runs smoothly and that traffic is managed properly. It's been a long 2 years, and the NYPD is always proud to be here. We're proud to be back here. We're proud to make sure that we're the ones that keep everyone safe and keeping this event smooth, and we expect the best tournament ever. So thank you. Thank you to all.
Good morning. I'm Chief Tom Galati. I'm the Chief of Intelligence for the NYPD. As the Commissioner mentioned earlier, we have no specific or credible threats to this event. However, whenever we have a large gathering and a high-profile event such as this, we are going to treat this with the highest security posture. We will be working very closely with our federal partners, specifically the Joint Terrorism Task Force. The Intelligence Bureau and the Joint Terrorism Task Force will have people present here and also back in our offices monitoring the threat streams, monitoring open source media for any threats that may come about. We're going to make sure that this is a safe and enjoyable event. Thank you.
Good morning. Chief Martine Matarasso, Chief of Counterterrorism. Thank you all for being here today. Just to touch on a couple of things the Counterterrorism Bureau will be putting out through the next 2 weeks. As in years past, we've worked very closely with event organizers. There will be a very large counterterrorism presence throughout the venue to ensure the safety of players, employees, and spectators. We have many security measures in place outside and inside the venue. As you may have noticed as you entered, we've installed concrete blocks around the perimeter of the tennis center to prevent unauthorized vehicles from breaching the site. Explosive detection canines will be patrolling the perimeter, including nearby plazas, pedestrian bridges, subway stations, transportation shuttles, and parking areas. Anyone entering the venue must pass through entry gates, and they will be screened through a multi-layered screening process, which includes heavy weapons teams, explosive detection trace machines, and canines. We remind you that there are many items that are prohibited inside the venue, such as backpacks, hard coolers, bottles and cans, laptops and computers, and we advise you to please look at the U.S. Open website for further details. Plainclothes officers will also be in the crowds observing for any suspicious behavior, persons, or objects. Any questionable persons or objects will be investigated by additional counterterrorism resources. We will also be deploying our counter-drone technology, and similar to years past, we will enforce a zero-tolerance policy for anyone found to be operating a drone in and around the tennis center. Drones will be confiscated, and violators can face summonses or arrest. Finally, we cannot make this event safe without the eyes and ears of the public. We remind everyone that if you see something, please say something. Please call 1-888-NYC-SAFE or find the officer and please alert them. Our greatest strength is the cooperation between the cops and the community. Thank you.
Okay, we have time for some on-topic questions. Please wait till your name is called. Anybody like to go first? Glenn Chuck, 1010 wins.
Good morning, everyone. Just to have this event back again,
touch on what it means to the city to have this event back. I don't know if Dan can comment as well in terms of what the city's been through to have this event.
Well, certainly from our perspective in 2020 with no fans on site, it was great to have the players out here and to be able to broadcast on TV, but not having fans is really what the energy is all about for the event. And last year with about 75 to 80% attendance was incredibly special, but to right now see that we'll break our records from 2019 means that fans in New York City, they want to be out, they want to enjoy the U.S. Open, they want to end the summer on a high note, and it feels incredibly special.
Let's talk about Serena Williams and how that's really affected interest in the
Well, the ticket sales were off the charts before Serena's announcement, and it really just went to a whole new level. She's an incredibly special athlete. What she's meant to the sport is unlike anybody else, so we are thrilled that she's here. Love to see how she does tonight and see what happens over the next 2 weeks.